You've probably heard that Salem is affordable, close to nature, and quieter than Portland. But there are some surprising perks to living here that most people don't even talk about. Most locals likely take it for granted or don't even give it a second thought. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down some of the unexpected perks of life in Salem, and a lot of these you may not even realize until you've spent time living here. Now, like you, I did my research about Salem, Oregon before uprooting my family and moving here. And I'm not originally from the Pacific Northwest, so a lot of these perks actually did come as quite the surprise, and a lot of them were only discovered after my family and I have lived here for several years. Now, one of the first unexpected perks that we discovered after having lived in Salem, Oregon for several years is that you get a lot of the big fun without the big crowds. You get the best of Oregon, epic hikes, seasonal festivals, and family-friendly events, all without the stress of parking battles or long lines or walking shoulder to shoulder at big events. With so much beauty surrounding Salem, you may expect it to be crowded, like the hiking trails, the beautiful Silver Falls, the Oregon Garden, Mento Brown Park, Bush Pasture Park, Riverfront Park, Brighton Bush Hot Springs, and Detroit Lake, just to name a few. Now, one of the biggest draws for my family and I to move to Salem, Oregon was its surrounding beauty, and we were pleasantly surprised that we don't have to fight for parking spots. It's not overly congested. We get to enjoy nature in more of its natural state where it's peaceful, it's quiet, less crowds, less people around. I like being around people, but when I'm in nature, I just want it to be quiet and enjoy it for more of its natural state. Now, having moved from a large city with a massive population, anytime we went hiking or to the beach or into the mountains, it was always crowded, traffic getting there, overly congested, hard to find parking, and it just kind of made the experience less enjoyable. Whereas in Salem, Oregon, you don't have any of that to deal with, so the whole entire experience is far more enjoyable. Now, this is something we were not necessarily expecting. We know people in Salem love their nature. The difference is it's just not an overly populated city. We have about 175,000 people here, and so you just don't get the crowds and crowds of people, and there's just so much space and nature around you that it's so spaced out that you're not fighting everyone living in Salem going to the same spot. Now, the smaller crowds extend beyond just the natural sites and the parks. You'll also notice it when you go to the numerous festivals in Salem and the community events. Now, first, I should say an unexpected perk was just how many events and festivals happen here in Salem. We had no idea that there were so many to enjoy, and my family and I take advantage of it all. And the best part is you're not fighting crowds. Again, you're not fighting for parking. You're not fighting for traffic. You're not shoulder to shoulder as you're walking through the events. They're not overly populated. You can actually enjoy all the activities at the events without waiting in long lines. Those are absolutely things that I had to experience when living in a big city. Any event we went to took forever to get to, stuck in traffic, took forever to find parking, and it wasn't all that enjoyable because you pay your fee to get in and you don't even get to enjoy all the activities because there's just so many people there. The complete opposite is true of Salem, Oregon, and the events and activities that we have here. Now, you may actually be wondering just how many events you will enjoy here. There's more than you would expect. We've got the State Fair, the County Fair. We've got the Summer Art Festival, Forest Fest, Ironman, Ag Fest, World Beats, Make Music Salem, Holiday Parades, Family Fest, Hoopla, Saturday Markets, and so much more. In addition to all of the annual events just being less crowded and congested, your weekend activities, your daily activities, your entertainment here in Salem is also less crowded. You don't have to worry about booking things way in advance or being completely booked out. So when you're going to like restaurants, the bars, the movies, super easy to get into. Or if you're going to any of the family fun zones, indoor trampoline parks, the arcades, the smash rooms, the escape rooms, indoor rock climbing, paintballing, whatever it is that's on your entertainment list, you just have less crowds to deal with, less worries about making reservations. When you're shopping, even just at the markets, you're just day-to-day activities, less people. And these were all big perks that we weren't necessarily expecting. Even though we were moving to a smaller city, we just weren't used to that. And it's just more enjoyable to do these activities when you know that it's not going to be overly crowded. Now, before I get on to the rest of the unexpected perks, especially the last one was maybe one of my favorites, and I really had no idea I'd be enjoying it that much. I wanted to remind you that I am Dave Fine with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty, a local real estate agent who loves helping people move to and relocate to Salem and the surrounding areas. If that is someone like yourself, I can absolutely relate. hit us up at the contact information popping up or in the description below. Also, if you like what you see on these videos, hit the like button and comment below if you have any questions. All right, the second unexpected perk about Salem, Oregon, and this is something you may or may not realize through some of your research, depending if you're thinking about moving to other places in Oregon, is that Salem is actually unexpectedly more affordable than most of your big cities here in Oregon. And one of the biggest reasons is specifically the housing market here. And that's what we're going to focus on is when I talk about more affordable housing here when it comes to Salem. Now, I know when you look at the national average or the national median price, Salem is actually right there or maybe even a little bit higher. But when you're comparing it to the rest of some of these big cities in Oregon and also some of the big cities in general, it is not even close or comparable. So I'm going to dive into some numbers to show you the big difference and show you why it may be unexpected, being that Salem is the capital of Oregon, that you may just not expect that we have one of the lower prices as far as home buying. Now, Salem's median home price is significantly lower than Portland and Bend, and it's also going to be lower than Eugene and some of the other cities I'm going to mention. Now, if you want to hear Salem's median home price, I will have it at the end of the list, but we're first going to start off with Portland, where the median price is $540,000, and it's even higher in their suburbs like Hillsborough, Beaverton, and Wilsonville. Now, Bend's median home price is $797,000. This actually reminds me of where I came from, which was Los Angeles, where the median home price is over $1 million. Eugene's median home price is $480,000. McMinnville's median home price is $510,000. Corvallis, $550,000. And now, drum roll, I'm going to be revealing Salem's median home price, $450,000. So you can see it is significantly lower than many of the cities that I mentioned. Now, it is up from last year, which was about $430,000, but still well below Portland, Bend, and some of the other cities. Now, sure, you may be thinking, well, of course, Portland has a higher median price. It is a larger city, and that is true, but that's just what comes with big city life. When you're comparing it to Bend, Bend is probably a lot of people moving in from California, driving the prices up there, and that's why it's significantly higher. Now, Salem, as I mentioned, is the capital city of Oregon. It's also so centrally located where you can access all of these cities and more. So it may be a little bit surprising or unexpected to hear that Salem is actually, out of all of those cities that I mentioned, ones that you may consider moving to yourself, is going to be the lowest as far as your median home price. Now, Salem is not trying to become Portland 2.0, and thankfully they're not. We did not want that big city vibe or feel. We moved from a big city specifically to get away from that. But Salem is a place where you can, raise your family, start a business, and just have a quieter pace of life at a much more affordable rate. It's a city where you're not going to feel like you're caught up trying to keep up with the Joneses like you would in Portland or Bend or maybe even places like Eugene. The lifestyle here isn't just go, go, go or super competitive, and you don't feel like you're just caught up in the rat race that you would in maybe some of the other cities in Oregon. Now, the next unexpected perk about living in Salem, Oregon, and this is something we also discovered after having lived here, was just that we are about 1.5 hours away from the best of Oregon. Now, sure, when we started doing our research, we looked at different maps, just like you probably have, and we see where things are located, but you don't really realize how close things are until you live here and experience it. Now, from Salem, if you drive west for a little over an hour, you will run right into Lincoln City, which is our closest coastal city. Yes, the coastline is only about an hour and change away. And I say coastline, not beach, because if you say beach, then they know you're not from around here. Side note. But it is beautiful there, and it's so close you can do day trips or weekend getaways like my family does. You enjoy the rugged coastline, the beautiful rock formations, where the forest actually meets the sand, some amazing hiking trails, awesome nature there. You also get to enjoy all the little coastal communities there with the restaurants that have some really fresh seafood, really cool shopping, art galleries, candy shops, ice cream parlors. There are plenty of Airbnbs to rent out that are just minutes from the beach, and these beaches are expansive with really soft sand, and there's also some little hideaways and cove areas where there's not a lot of people. Kind of goes back to not overly congested. And so if you enjoy the coastal lifestyle but don't want to live there or spend that much money to buy a house there, living in Salem just puts you a little over an hour away from there. Now, if you head north from Salem, you're going to run right into Portland, which is, again, just a little over an hour, depending on traffic, and you can enjoy all the big city amenities. As I mentioned, I'm from a big city. I still like that once in a while. Don't want to live within it, but I like being close enough where, again, I can do a day trip, do a little weekend getaway if I want, where my family and I are enjoying the Portland Zoo, the Japanese garden there, the OMSI Science, the Science Museum there, or if we just want to kind of be in a large city vibe, then we're super close. So when you live in Salem, you kind of get the best of both worlds. We get to live our quieter pace, our quieter lifestyle here in Salem, and just easily venture into Portland whenever we want to. Oh, and Portland International Airport, the PDX is there, so we want to hop on a flight. It's about an hour, a little over an hour to get there, and we're off on our way traveling. Now, if you go south from Salem about an hour and a half, you're going to run right into Eugene along the I-5 freeway. And so if you want to experience the university lifestyle or go to an NCAA game at the University of Oregon, it is right there. We kind of get our sporting fix there, about an hour and a half travel time. And it's artsy, it's eclectic, just a little fun experience to go in there for a little day trip, and we love doing that as well. They also have a small airport there that hits up a lot of the West Coast cities, a lot easier to navigate than PDX, and just another avenue if you want to travel somewhere along the West Coast. And one more direction, if you head east a little over an hour, hour and a half, you are at the foothills of the Cascade Mountains, which is our beautiful mountain range here in the Pacific Northwest. A little bit further and you're in the heart of the Cascade Mountains, but just an hour and a half, you're at the foothills, and you get to enjoy some beautiful hiking experiences. You got Detroit Lake there, you've got some good fishing, some camping, you've got inner tubing and sledding during the winter. Oh, you also have Brighton Bush Hot Springs, which is about an hour and a half away from Salem. Some beautiful natural spots and hot springs, a good little getaway, especially if you want to kind of zen out and relax. Good spot to go. You also have some cities that are a little bit closer, like 40 minutes away, like McMinnville, Corvallis, Wilsonville. And these are all small cities that you can also enjoy as well. McMinnville especially is a cool little spot. It's kind of like a one street downtown area with wine tasting, art galleries, cool bookstores, fun shops, some fun restaurants, and they've got some great cool seasonal festivals there as well. They've got the Air and Space Museum as well as an indoor water park, and that's super close by. In fact, to get there, you drive through the Willamette wine country. Spoiler alert, that may be talked about a little bit later in this video. And so you do have access to some of these surrounding cities that are also closer. Now, I did a whole video on why Salem may be one of the best locations to live in Oregon as far as being close to so much activities and so many things to do, so you can check that out on my channel. All right, I guess you didn't have to wait too long for my spoiler alert about talking about the wine country, but we do have a hidden wine country here. I call it hidden because not a whole lot of people talk about it when you're talking about moving to Salem, Oregon, but it is definitely an unexpected perk that we've come to enjoy for sure. Now, some of the best Pinot Noir in the country is made just outside of Salem, and before moving here, we knew there were some wineries and vineyards that were close by, but we didn't realize that there were so many. There are actually 700 wineries / vineyards right here in the Willamette Valley, where Salem is a part of, and everything is really close. In fact, I live in a neighborhood where I'm just a few blocks from one of the wineries. Now, when you think wineries on the West Coast, everyone's talking about Napa, Sonoma, Paso Robles, Santa Barbara, Temecula. No one really talks about the Willamette wine country unless you're in Oregon. But that was cool, unexpected surprise, and just how close it is. And we definitely take advantage of this. A lot of family and friends take advantage of this as well. You can hit up these wineries pretty much 30 minutes from anywhere you live in Salem. And there's just beautiful vineyards, acres and acres of grapevines, awesome countryside to drive through. And a lot of these places have really great wine tasting events, seasonal festivities, and a lot of the corporations and businesses here in Salem take full advantage of the wine country here, where they have corporate and business events. They have their holiday parties here. It's also a cool spot to take out-of-town guests, where they may be surprised to see how many wineries and how many tasting rooms there actually are just outside of the Salem area. Also, with Salem being in the heart of the Willamette wine country, you get to enjoy all of the local wines at your restaurants and from the different vendors that you shop from. So there's a lot of really cool perks for being so close to the wine country. And again, this was something that we didn't expect. When I lived in Los Angeles, we had to travel a couple hours at the minimum to get to the closest wine country area outside of Los Angeles. And if you live in a big city that's not necessarily near wine country, but you enjoy a nice glass of wine or the idea of doing different tastings, you will absolutely grow to enjoy this perk of living in Salem, Oregon. Now, this next unexpected perk is probably one of my favorites after having lived in Salem for a few years, and that is the local farms and fresh culture. Salem sits in the heart of Oregon's farm country, and some of my favorites to visit is Bauman's Farm, Easy Orchards, Fordyce Farm, Stuart Olson Farms, and Mento Island Growers, all just minutes from Salem. One of the new favorite pastimes for my family and I are going to these farms for the U-pick season during spring, summer, and fall, where we pick our own berries, our own cherries, apples, and pumpkins, and more. It is some of the freshest produce you're going to experience, and it's so much more enjoyable picking your own fruit, so much more fresh, so much more sweet, and just the experience of being kind of one with nature, being part of that farm life, showing our kids where all the fruit comes from. It is really cool, and a lot of these farms are very welcoming. The pricing is amazing, better than markets. And if you're not keen on going out into the fields and picking your own fruit, you can always go to their really cool farm stores where they have their fruits already picked for you. You can buy them less expensive again than the markets, and it's super fresh. And a lot of these farms also have really cool farm shops with cool things that you can buy. Another thing that we did not really expect that we've come to really enjoy is the fall season at these farms, because a lot of them open up for their fall festivals. They have big pumpkin patches, corn mazes, haunted corn mazes. They've got apple cannons and pumpkin cannons, haystack castles, tractor rides, obstacle courses, live music, bounce houses, and of course, warm apple cider along with their cider donuts, and all of the smells of the fall spices. My family and I absolutely love going to these farms, especially when we don't really have anything planned for the weekends and we're thinking, oh, what can we do? We just hit up one of the U-pick farms and we go fresh berry picking, or again, at a lot of these farms, even when it's not fall, they have some fun activities and playgrounds and things for the kids to enjoy while we're either doing fruit picking or doing some shopping or eating at the farm. Even at the Salem Saturday Market, which is another thing that we truly enjoy, the local farmers market, where the local farmers, the bakers, and artisans take over kind of the downtown area from March through October, where you can experience all of the farm fresh produce. Now, even though we were aware that Salem was surrounded by farmland, another unexpected perk related to that is all the farm-to-table menus that you're going to find at restaurants that come with all your fresh produce, and the seasonal menus. So you can go to your favorite restaurants multiple times and see different menu items based on what the local farms are growing. It was really totally expected how immersed we were going to be into the farm culture. We're not farmers ourselves, we don't own any farmland, but we certainly love being around it and being involved with. My family and I have really truly embraced this unexpected perk about living and being surrounded by the farmland, farm culture, and really didn't have any idea that this was going to play such a big role in our lives, whether we're going to the farms for entertainment, picking our own fruit, experience the local produce at the Saturday market, or experiencing those seasonal menus at our restaurants. And for me personally, sometimes I just need a breather and I'll take a 20-minute drive outside the city and I'm in the countryside, in the farmland, driving through the rolling hills, seeing all the farms on both sides of me, just a breath of fresh air. It really plays kind of a vital role in me feeling more revitalized and kind of puts me back in my happy place. But that's just me personally. So as you're doing your research, as I did with my family, of why you're thinking about moving to Salem, Oregon, some of these things in this video may not be on your radar, and hopefully they are now. And it's certainly something that wasn't on ours and we've come to enjoy now that we've lived in Salem, Oregon for a few years now. I can absolutely relate to you of what it's like to uproot your family or just yourselves thinking about making the move to a new city, especially if you're not originally from the Pacific Northwest like my family and I were not. Hit me up at the contact information popping up below. As I mentioned, my team and I love helping people move to and relocate to Salem, Oregon and the surrounding areas. I am a local real estate agent. I am Dave Fine with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button to get it out to more people like yourselves who are thinking about making the move. Subscribe to the channel to get more videos and the bell to get notified when they pop.